While thoughts of friends, family, and Christmas cheer fill the air, it's also important to note the increased fire hazards during the holiday season. Now, the tree is the centerpiece of Christmas celebrations, but it's also a big fire hazard. The Lloydminster Fire Department says to make sure to water it and check the needles to make sure it stays moist. Place your tree at least 1 meter away from any heat source and always unplug your lights before leaving the house or going to bed. The rest is just common sense.
Make sure everything's attended, like your candles, your cooking, everything like that. Everyone gets in such a rush that they forget that they're most common things.
And there are a few hazards you might not even think of. Deputy Fire Chief Jordan Newton advises against burning wrapping paper in the fireplace and says to never overload power outlets.
Extension cords. When you plug in your tree and all your decorations, just inspect them prior for cracks and breaks.
The new year is the perfect time to check and change the batteries in your smoke detectors. And with Christmas just around the corner, Canadians may be rushing to send out Christmas packages to various parts of the country. And postal service companies are reminding everyone to send out their parcels as soon as possible for it to arrive just in time for the holidays. It's the busiest time of year for Canada Post. They anticipate delivering 27 million parcels during the holiday period.
This last Monday, we actually had a delivery record for Canada Post. We delivered 1.25 million parcels across Canada. So it's very, very busy. And I think that was the 5th day where we've delivered over 1 million parcels in a single day this year.
Eugene Napick says if you're sending parcels or letters locally, the send time is 2 to 3 days, and it will take 3 to 4 days provincially.
If you're sending within Alberta, today or tomorrow to get parcels in the mail, regular parcels, and we'll get them there on time for Christmas. But if you're ordering online from an online retailer, you should always look at the retailer's website for the amount of time it takes, because that takes into account their pick and pack time as well.
Some important tips to remember is to use a thicker packing tape. Always write your full address down, complete with postal code and the return address. And if you're reusing boxes, cover up any old barcodes to avoid any confusion with a system. It was a bit of a sticky situation at Avery Outreach School today as students traded textbooks for baking supplies as they got involved in Scotiabank's Hockey Day in Canada in a unique way.
Do you want to add just a little bit? Tiny bit.
These high school students spent the morning finishing sugar cookies and working on a special culinary art project.
We kind of just all came together on it and decided we got some ideas and figured out that we wanted to do the Stanley Cup.
When it's all said and done, the class will have a miniature Stanley Cup made with Rice Krispie squares. But it's not just to enjoy over the holidays. The cup will be presented at the Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada Students Art Awards next month.
Well, we created the award because not everybody is a hockey fan, and we were trying to get involvement, the inclusiveness of all. So it's from kindergarten to high school. So it's any age, their participation for Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada. That's what we were looking for.
The awards are set for January 14th during the opening ceremonies presentations. From singing to dancing, we have some very talented students here in the border city. And you can see for yourself in this week's Beyond the Classroom. For this one, we head to E.S. Laird Middle School to check out their annual talent show. Nerman Issa has more.
From a band performing a Christmas song to a singer performing a top 40 hit.
I just want you to know,
There is plenty to see and hear at E.S. Laird's annual talent show. Now, these students have been working on their acts for weeks with the exciting chance to perform in front of their own peers.
I like performing and being outgoing, so dancing really helps me move and get all my energy out.
I asked them if I can do it. They told me I should try, so I did, and here I am.
It's just really neat to see the kids being able to feel comfortable enough to put themselves out there, to be vulnerable, and to showcase their talents. And there's some really talented kids.
38 different acts took part in the talent show. Now for some students, this was a chance to tell a story just through their movements.
The idea of the song was that there was something over there trying to pull me towards it, but then at the end I decided to go off in the other direction.
In the end, despite some nerves, the chance to perform something they loved was well worth the butterflies.
I was very nervous at first, but once I watched the talent show and kind of started getting calmed down, it just reassured me that I could do it. And then when I was doing my dance, the nerves just went away and I just started dancing.
Nara Manisa, Newcap News.
And that's all the time we have. Thank you for joining us. Have a good night.
Good night. Good night.